Firstly, I would like to welcome you all to tonight's event. And as you can see, the theme is very relative to Pakistan. It's all white and green. And I hope you like this venue. I know a lot of you have been traveling for an hour at least, at the minimum, to get here. We have with us to celebrate today people from the High Commission, High Commission's representative, Dr. Israr, who's the Communities and Welfare Minister, and I think he holds quite a few portfolios which he might talk about because he's going to be our keynote speaker. As some of you might know, this week is the week of solidarity with the people struggling against racism and racial discrimination, and hence we planned this special integration program, tonight's event, because in the face of Islamophobia, in the face of racial discrimination, in all this, a lot of Pakistanis are feeling very targeted. And that is the reason why tonight we have invited people from the diverse community to join us, so that they can see that we are just normal people, that the children who go to school with their children are just normal, ethnically Pakistani Muslim children. And that is the reason why we are rather a diversely integrated crowd over here tonight. I'm not going to take too much of your time because we are over here to actually enjoy today. We're going to have music, we're going to have dinner. You all might have noticed the names on your tables. They are different cities from the provinces of Pakistan. We have tried to cover all the provinces, including Kashmir, and your tables will be named after different cities. Tonight's menu, if you all would like to know now, is going to be a very nice, cultural, traditional Pakistani dinner. We've got your starters, which are going to be made outside. So you can all go outside in a little while and have your starters. It'll be sea kebabs, chicken tikka, all being barbecued live in front of you. And I hope you all will enjoy these little bits that we've tried to put in there, just to celebrate Pakistan, its cultures, its traditions. I'm dressed in a Pakistani dress, so are majority of the people. And I hope everybody enjoys tonight. Firstly, we're not going to have too many speeches either. We're just going to have a couple. We were expecting Lord Qurban, but he's been stuck in traffic and he's had to turn back and go. One of our speakers, who was a former High Commissioner of Pakistan, he is with us tonight. And if he wouldn't mind coming up and saying just a few words, I'd really appreciate it. Mr. Wajid Shamsul Hassan, please. Just a few words, Wajid sir.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. It's indeed a pleasure for me to be here with you this evening. And I'm very happy to see such a mix of crowd. The guests that you have, obviously they are diverse and they come from various places in Pakistan and various communities here, which shows that we all being integrated as one should be. But I would say, Natasha, so far I've been living here for the last 20 years in different positions, and I've been a very avid walker. I walk late in the night, but so far I've not been targeted by anybody. This is the best part of living here. I find people very tolerant, and the country is very tolerant. I wish the same sort of atmosphere we could have it, that same sort of integration we could have it within Pakistan. Pakistan today suffers from the problem of identity and not integration of the sort that our founding father Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah wanted us to be when he said on the 11th of August 1947 that from today you cease to be Christians, you cease to be Muslims, you cease to be Hindus and Parsis, etc. And you are Pakistanis first and last. And that sort of Pakistan he wanted. And he was also very clear that religion will not have anything to do with the business of the state. That means that you will have a secular governance in the country. I am really sorry sometimes when I see things which do not tell us that we really do know what our identity is. The other night I was watching this match at Adelaide between Pakistan and Australia it was, I think, when I saw a gentleman in the crowd wearing, a beard and of course a Pakistani flag, but he was also wearing an Arab, that sort of cap which they have according to the weather conditions. That shows that we identify ourselves, quite a lot of people here, we identify ourselves with something which is not Pakistani. In the same way, I went as High Commissioner to a mosque in Leicester, and it was rather cold. When I saw the Imam of the mosque wearing the same sort of Arab dress, I have nothing against the Arab dress, but I was wearing heavier coat than this, then a heavier suit as well, and was very cold. And he was wearing this kaba sort of thing with this Arab thing. I said, you are Pakistani, you are heading a Pakistani mosque, you should be dressed up as the people do here. Well, he had no argument, but they thought that I'm sort of a Dahriya. I'm sure you know what Dahriya is. But that's what I want to tell you, that when you are living here, you must integrate, because that is where lies the success to your life here, because you're adopting this country as your own. So be Pakistani, and promote Pakistani culture, but along with it, you must integrate with the local society, and also, as Dr. Johan and our friend Chiku Jahangir I see here, huh? Yeah, Chiku Jahangir is there, and Lashari, so many people are there, people who have lived here all their lives, and they have almost integrated here. So we have to, but I would advise them that instead of going back and doing dharnas and getting involved in Pakistani politics, they should involved in British politics and be effective here so that they could raise the voice of the community, the grievances of the communities, and of course Pakistan. And that will be the greater service to the country and the people here. With these words, I wish you well. I wish Natasha well and the Overseas Pakistanis Trust well. They are doing good work. They should keep it up. Thank you very much.
Wow, drum roll. Thank you, Wajid Sahab. Bahut shukriya. Like I said, we don't want to have too many speeches because we do want to have an evening of entertainment. But I would like to say a few thank yous before I call on to our main speaker. I would like to say thank you to all of you, because I will not be saying thank yous at the end, so I'd like to get this over and done with. Thank you to all of you for joining us tonight. I hope you all enjoyed tonight. What I would like to say is thank you also to some of our sponsors. Sajid Bhai from Gourmet is over here. He's brought us a lovely big cake, which we will be cutting in a little while. I think it's in the form of Pakistan's flag, is it? Yes, thank you very much for that. So, his cakes are absolutely wonderful, delicious. I would suggest everybody to try Gourmet and China Grill as well. So, a bit of sponsoring and advertising for our sponsors. Right, and I would also like to, of course, say thank you to the media who is here. I believe Fayaz Ghafoor is over here from ARY. He is the CEO. I see quite 786, Mr. Umar Mujahid, who's always covering us, so really kind of him. A lot of other people from the newspapers, and We have Wadud Saab from Geo as well. So really, I don't want to forget anybody, but I don't want to take too many names. So thank you to everybody. Renu is over here, who's photographing for us. Margoob is over here. And thank you to all of you. I would like to call our main speaker, our keynote speaker, and after that we will go into our program for the evening. If Dr. Israr from the High Commission, who's a Communities Welfare Minister, please take to the stage and say a few words. I'd appreciate that.
Bismillahir-Rahmanir-Rahim. In the name of Almighty, the creator of all the universe, most benevolent and omniscient. Chairman Overseas Pakistanis Trust, Malik Sahab, Consular Sheikh, High Commissioner, dear friends, ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to all of you. At the very outset, there's contradiction in terms when Consular Sheikh was saying that I'm the keynote speaker, and when I was walking towards the stage, she asked me to say only few words. I don't understand that contradiction. If I'm a keynote speaker, I'm going to speak for a half an hour and will elucidate the things which she has told me when a male and given me a very heavy topic to speak on. So, to begin with, please accept the heartiest congratulations on the auspicious occasion of the 75th National Day or Pakistan Day to every Pakistani who is sitting here and the friends who have come to join us. I must commend the Board of Directors of Overseas Pakistan Trust that in the first year of its inception, am I right? Yeah, you have achieved a big landmarks. I mean, arranging such a lovely function in the outskirts of London, I would say, in a golf club, and with simmering, freezing cold. And I was the first to welcome all the guests with Consular Sheikh as well. I would like to highlight that. Now, taking a little more serious turn, the topic I have been given is the racial discrimination, the racism based on Islamophobia. So please don't get bored. My speech is a little heavy given the celebrative mode of the sitting and function. But I have to go through all these things. Ladies and gentlemen, the first ever covenant against racism and racial discrimination was propounded by the Holy Prophet, may peace be upon him. And from the Holy Quran, I would like to read this translation. O mankind, we created you from a single pair of a male and female, and made you into nations and tribes, that you may know each other. Verily, the most honored of you in the sight of God is He who is the most righteous of you. The message is just not for the Muslims, because the Almighty is addressing all the humanity, all the revealed religions, all the societies, all the cultures. He says that He created us from one man and one woman, meaning then that we are all the same. Please note that no word equivalent to race is used in this ayah or any other verse of Holy Quran. Islam, however, limits the purpose of these distinctions to differentiation and knowing each other. This is not meant to be a source of beating each other down and an attitude of my group is better than your group or false pride, as in the case with tribalism, nationalism, colonialism, and racism. This is the power which brought Cassius Clay to be Muhammad Ali. This is what changed the heart of racist Malcolm X when he performed Hajj in Mecca. And this is what still attracts the untouchables of India towards Islam. This is the theory which noted historian and sociologist Arnold Toynbee in 1948 made him to say, the extension of race consciousness as between Muslims is one of the outstanding achievements of Islam. And in the contemporary world, there is, as it happens, a crying need for the propagation of Islamic virtue. I would quote the words of Holy Prophet once again, O people, remember that your Lord is one. An Arab has no superiority over a non-Arab, nor a non-Arab has any superiority over an Arab. Also, a black has no superiority over white, nor a white has any superiority over black, except by piety and good actions, which is called taqwa. Indeed, the best among you is one with the best character. Ladies and gentlemen, the virus of racism may exist in the hearts and minds of millions around the world. But when racism is acted upon, especially by a group of people, things don't just become dangerous, they become deadly. And I would like to quote here the Article 7 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. All are equal before the law and are entitled without any discrimination to equal protection of the law. All are entitled to equal protection against any discrimination in violation of the Declaration and against any incitement to such discrimination. There are a few very interesting facts which you might like to know. That Coca-Cola originally was marketed to whites only, and Pepsi was marketed to blacks. In UK, black people on an average use fewer drugs, these are statistics, than white people, but they are 6 times more likely to be stopped and searched for drugs. So that is sort of racism. Now, turning towards Islamophobia, which has become the term which is being very frequently being used. It was first introduced in UK as a concept in 1991. A Runnymede Trust report defined as unfounded hostility towards Muslims, and therefore fear or dislike of all or most Muslim. The term was coined in the context of Muslims in the UK in particular and Europe in general, and formulated based on the more common xenophobia framework. This discrimination is based on the following beliefs. Islam is monolithic and cannot adapt to new realities. Islam does not share common values with other major faiths. Then I would like to quote here a very famous social scientist, Paula Leonard of the Stanford University. She stated in her book that new immigrant policies and cuts to social welfare programs Majorities in the United States have increasingly supported intensified forms of punishment and marginalization against Black, Latinos, Arabs, and Muslim people in the United States, even as a majority of citizens claim to support color blindness and racial equality. Ladies and gentlemen, we as Pakistanis, and I representing the Pakistan High Commission, we condemn terrorism in all its forms and manifestations. We vehemently reject the notion of so-called caliphate being propounded as it would create political chaos in the state. We condemn extremism and reiterate our support to interfaith harmony and tolerance. I think the atmosphere has become too heavy with my speech. So I don't burden your minds much more. And once again, congratulate you on the 75th Pakistan National Day. And thank you very much for listening to me patiently.
Thank you very much, Dr. Israr. It wasn't that heavy, really, because now you're about to face the real heavy stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, would you all stand for the national anthem of Pakistan, and please remain standing after that for the national anthem of our homeland, which is Britain.